abilities, so we rely on our gizmos and gadgets here to give us the evidence we need. So I'll pass you on to Adam, and he can run through some of the gear for us.
Righty, as you can see, we've got a whole heap of equipment lined up here. I'll just give you a basic rundown, just of some of the equipment we do use. Handycam, infrared option, so we can walk around, we can film in a place like this tonight, so we can just walk around all ourselves, and we've got the infrared option on that. We find a lot of the time that the standard infrared option isn't strong enough when we're filming, so we tend to add, just so you might see the little lights there, just the infrared torch, and that boosts that infrared option a lot better. Okay. Second of all, motion sensors. Now these are used, we can touch the location tonight, we can pop one of these upstairs. Now this will give off a siren if anything does move. When we do put these upstairs, we lock off the area so we know there's going to be no movement of animals, people or anything. So if something does go off, we can put that down, and we may be able to put that down to paranormal activity. Now that gives off a really loud siren, and you probably see that one there, that's giving off the light. Now we just use those if we don't want to be listening to sirens and alarms going off all night, or if it's close to proximity to where we are. So that's just, it's the same thing, but it gives off a light. Okay, next up on the list, we use infrared thermometers. You may have heard people explain to you that they felt a cold spot, or they felt shivers, or they just generally felt uneasy. Now a lot of the time, the theory behind that is that when spirits try and manifest, they draw energy from the atmosphere, and energy basically is heat. So when they're drawing this, they're trying to manifest, they're drawing the heat out of the area. So that's what makes you feel that cold spot or that shiver down the spine. So if we do feel this, and we sort of know the general temperature of the area, it's about a 5 or 10 degree drop, and there's no drafts or wind coming through from windows. We'll get a thermometer out, and that way we can just note down that there was a temperature drop in this room, and we lock that down. Okay, so I'll hand this one out. Do we have any volunteers? Yep. Okay, pretty much just like a police radar gun, just point and shoot. Try not to put it in people's eyes because the lasers don't mean well to other eyes. Next up, I've got another thermometer. This is just a smaller unit. As you can see, again, just a laser, and that just gives us, again, just a general idea on the temperature. Does anyone want to use this unit? Any volunteers?
One at the back. One
at the back? Okay, right at the back there.
Lisa?
If the laser turns itself off, there we go. Where are we? Up here. Just every now and then, just point that there, and you'll be able to see the temperature there. Beautiful. Okay, next on the list, we've got this little unit here. Now, has anyone seen one of these on television before or heard that noise?
Yeah, Ghosthunters.
Yeah, it's the theory behind this. Does anyone know what EMF stands for?
Electromagnetic field.
Right on. Okay, the theory behind that is ghosts and spirits, when they try to manifest or show themselves, they give off that field. Now, electrical appliances give off the same field as well. So if we do hear this, and we're on an investigation and we're not near any televisions, any PowerPoints, anything that's going to give off that, we know then to further investigate what might be happening. Do I have any volunteers for this one? Yeah. That one usually goes quicker than the thermometers. Every now and then just tap on the side. Try not to hold her else we'll yell at them. I'll hand it over to Craig now. Can you explain some of the rest of the equipment?
Right, the other equipment we have is a DVR system. Anyone knows what the DVR system stands for?
Digital video recorder.
That's the one, this guy's cool.
He's a tech.
It was the home security system basically, but this one can run up to 16 channels for a week constantly. With this camera here, you can shoot 60 metres at night time, complete blackness, as you can see on that little screen there. That's just a little baby version of it. This one's the big bad boy. Now, moving on to another thing is the light spectrum. This is a bit technical, but say we can see this much of white light, which our eyes can see. There's a spectrum over here called the infrared, which we can't see, but it actually exists, and it can see in pitch blackness. And there's ultraviolet, which is basically like a black light. And supposedly spirits can manifest themselves in either infrared or UV, which we can't see. But by using these two little aids here, we can actually see them manifest. Another thing is digital voice recorders, electro EVP. Anyone knows what that stands for?
Go on, know it all.
No. So
It's a tongue twister.
You got me. Electronic voice phenomenon. Basically, it's just a normal note taker, but in the right situation, spirits you can ask them questions. Psychics can actually communicate with them, so they say, but I want more proof than that. So by using this, we can't actually hear them talking because supposedly they're on a higher frequency that we can actually hear. But with this can record onto a higher frequency, and then by playing it back, we can actually hear voices that aren't really there. So basically, something's talking to me right now, but I can't hear it. Via this, we can actually hear it. Sounds a little bit too far-fetched, but I've used it before. Melbourne jail. I recorded for 3 hours with Adam. We heard no noises. When I went home and listened to it, halfway through there was a girl screaming. Now, we would have said something if we heard it, but it wasn't there. But on this, we can actually hear it. So that's my proof, and that's what I like to use myself. One other thing we use, old school EMF, called dividing rods. Basically, they can detect water, but with spiritual people, they can actually use it to communicate to spirits. Basically, by channeling your energy through that, ask them a question, they can cross them for yes or open them for no. So sometimes, yeah, you can manipulate it yourself, but when you hold on to it like that, it can spin freely. So if something's happening and I'm not doing it, then it must be paranormal. That's another tool that we use. And last but not least is just our accessory case. Batteries, torches, two-way radios, tools, tapes, everything we can think of. On operations or investigations, they tend to batteries go dead a lot. Could be malfunction, or it could be a spirit using whatever energy, heat, electronic devices, batteries. So we got to keep a lot of them. Alright,
All good?
there you go.
I'll get you guys just follow me upstairs. When you do go upstairs, just watch the steps, they are quite steep, and if anyone has heels,